Men are not disturbed by things, but by the view which they take of them. Do you feel like you are constantly at the mercy of the world around you? A rude comment from a coworker ruins your entire morning. A sudden, unexpected bill spikes your anxiety through the roof. The 24-hour news cycle leaves you feeling drained, fearful, and exhausted before your day has even begun. In our modern society, we are conditioned to react to everything, to be perpetually triggered. We live in an economy of outrage and instant gratification, where silence is rare and patience is forgotten. But this constant reactivity isn't passion, it is a form of bondage. It means your internal peace is held hostage by external events you cannot control. Imagine, instead, walking through a chaotic world with a mind like a fortress, unshakable, calm, and deeply powerful. Imagine possessing the ability to look at a crisis and feel a sense of cool, collected focus rather than panic. This is not a fantasy. This is the ancient Stoic art of strategic detachment. In this video, we are not teaching you to be cold or indifferent. We are teaching you to reclaim your power. We will cover 6 specific, practical ways to master emotional detachment, allowing you to navigate life with the composure of a philosopher king. If you are ready to stop reacting and start living, take a second to subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Official and let us walk this path to mastery together.
The core philosophy, the misunderstanding of detachment. Before we begin, we must clear up a dangerous misunderstanding. In the West, especially in American culture, the word detachment often carries a negative connotation. We tend to associate it with apathy, with not caring, or with becoming an emotional robot. We think that to be loving and engaged, we must be emotionally volatile. But this is not the Stoic view. The Stoics practiced something called apatheia. This doesn't mean apathy in the modern English sense. It translates closer to equanimity or unshakable peace. Think of it like a surgeon in an emergency room. If a surgeon panics, cries, or becomes overwhelmed by the tragedy of a patient's injury, their hands will shake. They will fail. But if they remain emotionally detached, cool, focused, and steady, they can operate with precision and save a life. The surgeon cares deeply about the action, but they detach from the emotion of the moment to be effective. That is the kind of detachment we are building today. It is not about feeling nothing. It is about feeling the right things at the right time without being enslaved by them. 6 ways to master emotional detachment. Way number 1. The discipline of assent. Stop the first impression. The first step to mastery is what the Stoics called the discipline of assent. This is the practice of guarding your mind against your first, automatic reaction. We live in a reply immediately culture. When your phone buzzes with a text that annoys you, your thumb hovers over the screen, ready to snap back. When someone cuts you off on the highway, your blood boils instantly, and you want to honk or shout. We treat our initial emotions as fact. We think, I feel angry, therefore this situation is bad, and I must attack. The Stoics teach us that there is a critical gap between the stimulus, what happens to you, and the response, what you do about it. Most people live entirely in the stimulus. They are puppets, and the world pulls their strings. To master detachment, you must widen that gap. You must stop agreeing with your first impression. Seneca, one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in Rome, advised that we should not be swept away by the immediate appearance of things. When a strong emotion hits you, whether it is anger, jealousy, or fear, do not act on it. Instead, talk to it. Here is the practical application for your daily life. The pause method. The next time you receive an email that makes your stomach turn, or a comment that insults you, force yourself to wait. Tell yourself, you are just an impression and not at all what you seem to be. Strip the emotion away from the fact. The fact is, pixels on a screen arranged into words. The emotion is, your ego feeling threatened. Those are 2 different things. If you are angry, wait 60 seconds before you speak. If you are furious, wait an hour. If you are about to send a text message that could ruin a relationship, sleep on it. You will be amazed at how often the crisis dissolves simply because you refuse to give it your immediate assent. By pausing, you regain your sovereignty. You move from being a victim of your biology to being the master of your destiny. Way number 2. Radical acceptance, amor fati. The second way to master detachment is to change your relationship with what is. Friedrich Nietzsche, heavily influenced by the Stoics, coined the term amor fati, a love of fate. This goes beyond mere tolerance. Many of us tolerate the bad things in our lives. We grit our teeth when the flight is delayed. We complain when the weather ruins our weekend barbecue. We endure the hardships, but we do so with bitterness. We are constantly fighting a mental war against reality, thinking, "This shouldn't be happening. My plan was different." This resistance is the root of suffering. You are attached to a version of reality that does not exist, and because reality isn't obeying you, you are miserable. Stoicism asks you to flip the script. Instead of wishing for reality to be different, you accept it exactly as it is, and you choose to love it because it is necessary. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens happen the way it happens. Then you will be happy." Let's look at this through the lens of modern American life. You are stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. You are going to be late for a meeting. The average person grips the steering wheel, cortisol flooding their system, cursing the other drivers. They are attached to the idea that traffic should be moving. But it isn't. The Stoic practices radical acceptance. They look at the traffic and say, "This is happening. Fighting it mentally will not move the cars, it will only burn me out." Then, they take it a step further to amor fati. They ask, "How can I use this? Maybe this traffic is a gift. It is 20 minutes of solitude you didn't plan for. It is a chance to listen to an audiobook, to call your mother, or to simply practice the virtue of patience." By accepting the event, you detach from the frustration. You turn a bad event into material for your own character development. Everything that happens to you is fuel. The promotion you didn't get? That is fuel for resilience or a pivot to a better career path. The breakup? That is fuel for self-discovery and independence. When you love your fate, nothing can hurt you, because everything is used by you. Way number 3. The view from above, perspective shifting. The third method for mastering detachment is perhaps the most powerful tool for dissolving anxiety instantly. The Stoics called it the view from above. Consider the source of most of your stress. Usually, it comes from a phenomenon known today as main character syndrome. We naturally view the world entirely from our own narrow perspective. When we are embarrassed in a meeting, we feel like the entire world is watching and judging us. When we go through a breakup or a financial setback, it feels like an apocalyptic event. Our problems feel massive because they fill our entire field of vision. We lose our emotional detachment because we are zoomed in too close. We are pressing our faces against the glass of life, seeing every scratch and smudge as a disaster. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, had more pressure on him than perhaps any human being in history. He ruled the known world, fought wars on the borders, and dealt with a plague that wiped out millions. Yet, he maintained his sanity by practicing this specific visualization. He would close his eyes and imagine looking down on himself from the stars. Let's apply this to your life right now. The next time you feel overwhelmed by a deadline, a family argument, or a mistake you made at work, I want you to physically stop and close your eyes. Visualize your body sitting in the room. Then, float upward. See your house or your apartment building from the sky. See the cars moving like tiny ants on the highway. Rise higher. See your city, a grid of lights and concrete. Rise higher still. See the entire North American continent, curved against the blue ocean. Finally, see the Earth as a pale blue dot suspended in the vast, silent darkness of space. From this vantage point, where is your problem? Where is that awkward thing you said at the party? Where is the worry about your credit score? They are invisible. They have vanished into the grand scale of the universe. This is not meant to make you feel insignificant or depressed. It is meant to liberate you. When you realize how small your time here is, and how small your troubles are in the grand scheme of history, the heavy weight on your chest lifts. You realize that the things you are stressing over are temporary and trivial. The view from above reminds you that you are part of a much larger whole. It detaches you from the petty dramas of the ego and reconnects you with the cosmos. You can return to your body and handle your problems with a smile, knowing that in the end, they are just small ripples in a vast ocean. Way number 4. Defining what is yours, the dichotomy of control. This brings us to the fourth, and perhaps the most difficult, aspect of emotional detachment, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus opens his handbook with a ruthless distinction. Some things are in our control and others not. It sounds simple, yet most of the suffering in modern America comes from ignoring this rule. We are a culture obsessed with controlling the uncontrollable. We try to control what other people think of us. We try to control the economy, politics, the weather, and the future. We attach our happiness to outcomes that are not in our hands. And when we do that, we are setting ourselves up for slavery. Let's look at the modern addiction to validation. In the age of social media, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok, we have been trained to outsource our self-worth to the crowd. You post a photo or share an achievement, and then you wait. You check your phone. Did they like it? Did they comment? If the numbers are high, you feel good. If the engagement is low, or if someone leaves a nasty comment, you feel crushed. Do you see what has happened? You have handed the keys to your happiness to strangers. You have attached your emotional state to a server algorithm and the whims of other people. To master detachment, you must reclaim what is yours. You must cultivate an internal scorecard. The Stoics teach that the only things strictly within your control are your own reasoned choices, your own character, and your own actions. Your reputation? That is in the hands of others. Your wealth? The market can take that away. Your health? Genetics and accidents play a role. But your character? Your integrity? Your effort? No one can take those from you. Here is the practical advice. Stop looking at the scoreboard. Stop looking at the likes. Focus entirely on the execution. Before you take any action, whether it is giving a presentation at work, raising your children, or creating art, ask yourself, did I do this to the best of my ability? Did I act with virtue? If the answer is yes, then you have already won. The result does not matter. If you do your best and you get the promotion, good. If you do your best and you get fired, that is external. It does not touch the core of who you are. When you detach your self-worth from external rewards, you become untouchable. You can walk through life with a quiet confidence because you know that your value is generated internally, not granted by the applause of the crowd. You are no longer a servant to public opinion. You are the master of your own soul. Way number 5. Objective representation, stripping the adjectives. The fifth way to master emotional detachment is a linguistic tool used by Marcus Aurelius to strip the power away from seductive or frightening things. It is called objective representation. We suffer not because of what happens, but because of the story we tell ourselves about what happens. We are constantly adding adjectives and judgments to reality. We don't just say, I lost my job. We say, I lost my job, which is a catastrophe, and it means I am a failure, and I will never recover. The event itself, the job loss, is neutral. It is just data. But the story you wrapped around it, the catastrophe, is what breaks your heart and keeps you up at night. Marcus Aurelius practiced stripping these stories away. When he looked at a bottle of expensive vintage wine, he didn't romanticize it. He told himself, this is just aged grape juice. When he looked at his royal purple robes, the symbol of his ultimate power, he said, This is just sheep's wool dyed in the blood of a shellfish. By stripping away the glamour or the horror, he saw things exactly as they were. He detached from the hype. How do you apply this to your life in modern America? You must learn to speak like a scientist, not a poet. When you are insulted, or when you fail, or when something breaks, catch yourself telling a story. Are you using words like devastating, humiliating, unfair, or unbearable? These are emotional adjectives. They are the fuel for your suffering. Try to describe the exact same event again, but this time, you are only allowed to use fact. Instead of screaming, "He humiliated me in front of the whole team and I look like an idiot," simply say, "He raised his voice during the meeting and disagreed with my projected numbers." Do you feel the difference? The first version makes you a victim. It triggers shame and rage. The second version is just a report of what happened. Data cannot hurt you. Data is manageable. You can fix numbers. You can handle a disagreement. But you cannot handle a humiliation, because that is a monster you created in your own mind. This practice of objective representation allows you to look at the scariest monsters in your life and realize they are just shadows. When you strip away the adjectives, you strip away the fear. You remain detached, rational, and capable of solving the problem because you are seeing it clearly for the first time. Way number 6. Premeditatio malorum, negative visualization. The final, and perhaps most counterintuitive, way to master detachment is the practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. In our modern, positive vibes only culture, this sounds like bad advice. We are told to manifest success, to visualize only the best outcomes, and to never think negative thoughts. We are told that if we think about bad things, we will attract them. The Stoics believed the exact opposite. They believed that anxiety comes from being caught off guard. When you are blindly optimistic, you are fragile. When the world inevitably breaks your heart or ruins your plans, you are shattered because you never saw it coming. You are attached to a fantasy of safety. To build an armor of detachment, you must mentally rehearse the worst-case scenarios. This is not about worrying. Worrying is emotional, repetitive, and passive. It drains you. Negative visualization is intellectual, structured, and active. It prepares you. Take 5 minutes in the morning to rehearse the things you fear. Are you terrified of losing your partner? Close your eyes and vividly imagine that they are gone. Imagine the house is empty. Imagine the silence. This sounds morbid, but notice what happens when you open your eyes. You realize 2 things. First, you realize that if it happened, you would survive. You are stronger than you think. By facing the monster in your mind, you realize it cannot kill you. This detaches you from the crippling fear of loss. Second, and more importantly, when you see your partner sitting across the table eating breakfast, you are flooded with a profound sense of gratitude. You don't take them for granted anymore because you have visualized their absence. You hug them tighter. You listen to them more closely. By contemplating the loss of what you have, you learn to love it while you have it, without clinging to it desperately. You understand that everything is borrowed from fortune, and one day it must be returned. When you accept the worst case, you become invincible. If you have already mentally accepted the possibility of losing your job, your status, or your comfort, then fear has no leverage over you. You can walk into any negotiation, any relationship, or any risk with total freedom, because you are not afraid of the outcome. You have already seen the worst, and you are still standing. We have journeyed through the 6 pillars of Stoic emotional detachment. We learned the discipline of assent, pausing before we react to the initial impression. We embraced radical acceptance, turning every obstacle into fuel. We practiced the view from above, shrinking our problems by expanding our perspective. We defined what is ours with the dichotomy of control, focusing on our actions, not the result. We used objective representation to strip away the emotional story and see the plain fact. And finally, we armored ourselves with negative visualization, facing our fears to find our freedom. Emotional detachment is not about becoming a stone. It is about becoming a fortress. It is the ultimate superpower in the 21st century. While the world screams, panics, and fights over trivialities, the Stoic remains steady. You possess a kingdom within you that no one can conquer, unless you leave the gates open. Today, you have the keys to lock those gates. You have the tools to reclaim your peace. The chaos of the world will continue, but it no longer needs to be the chaos of your mind. Thank you for investing your time with Timeless Wisdom Official today. We know that in this distracted world, your time and attention are your most precious resources. We are honored that you chose to spend them here, seeking wisdom. If these principles resonated with you, and if you are ready to build a life of resilience, depth, and inner peace, please support us by clicking the subscribe button and turning on notifications. We are building a community of individuals who refuse to live shallow lives, and we want you with us. And I have a question for you to ponder. Which of these 6 methods do you find most difficult to practice in today's world? Is it the pause? Is it letting go of control? Or is it facing the fear of loss? Leave a comment below sharing your thoughts. I read them, and our community learns from your insights. Your experience might be the exact lesson someone else needs to read today. Please like this video to help the algorithm spread this ancient medicine to others who are suffering in silence. Until next time, stay wise, stay strong, and remember, the only thing you truly own is your mind. Guard it well.